everyone, I hope that you're having a great day. Shawn and I are starting something really exciting, and we haven't shared it at all with you guys yet. So we are getting ready to sell our house and to buy a new house. So today we are going to look at some different open houses. This one's supposed to be open, the one that we're driving up to right now. It's definitely not. Maybe it's a different day. Maybe I looked at it wrong. There are 3 open houses, and the one we were gonna look at, which is honestly like just down the street from us, it's not open. So we're gonna look into that. We'll get back to you guys. All right, so we realized there's Shawn. So we figured out that the one that's near our house is actually not open until next weekend, so that's okay. But right now we're on a street in our city that's like historic, right? Yeah, so the city we live in, to give you a little history lesson, used to be a really big industrial type city. And just like a lot of cities in America, industry left, everything kind of fell apart. They tried to fix it, and by trying to fix it, they made it worse. That's like a really quick version. The street that we're on right now used to be like the street to live on, and it still is to a degree. There are definitely houses on this street that are like, wow, like look at that house. So there are a lot of mansions through here, and this is one of the mansions. That mansion,
I wouldn't call it a mansion. It's a big house.
I want to say it's like 2,800 square feet. It's really big. It's within the city. Taxes are probably really high. We have to look at the tax estimate for this. But we've sort of liked the idea of like getting something older and
toying with the idea.
You know, looking at it and, you know, making it different. So we're gonna go in. This has an in-ground pool in the back too. Pretty much the whole yard is pool. So we're gonna go inside. So we'll give you guys a rundown after, but we're not going to film inside just because that kind of feels weird. But during this process, if we are able to film inside, we will. We'll just ask, like, if it's an open house where the owner is there, you know, then we can do that. All right, we're gonna head inside, and we'll tell you what we think afterwards. All right, so we just left the first house. Sorry,
the other house. It's not the first house we've looked at, but it's...
No, we're starting this process with you guys a little bit in. It's not the very first house we've looked at. But, oh my gosh, it is amazingly beautiful in there, and it's more house than we need. But let's see, it's up here on the left. So the next house we're looking at is maybe like half a block down. Same street, opposite side. Honestly, I think I might like this area a little better than down there, but I don't know, we'll have to see.
No, the area is all, I mean, look at this stone wall.
Yeah, there's like a stone wall right here
to someone's house,
and like there's like super gorgeous mansions over there. So yeah, so what were your thoughts, Shawn?
Oh, it was a beautiful house. It was out of our price range. We knew it was when we went in. We knew it was too expensive. The
one we're looking at now is within our price range.
A lot closer to
our price range, but I do have to say, I think we would ruin that house if we got that house.
I was just thinking that. I was like, this house is too nice.
It looks like they bought it in the 70s for like $25,000, and then they completely renovated it, but they kept a lot of the original fixtures. So like it had the original floors.
They retrofit everything perfectly.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Like, whoever was in charge of designing that house did an amazing job. Yeah, for sure. So we liked it, but I don't know, it almost was like a historical piece. It looked like it hadn't been lived in a lot, you know what I mean? It had an in-ground pool in the back. The whole yard was pool. It definitely was a city house. You could tell, like... Yeah, it was very private too. They had very tall bushes and shrubs. And it was like, I would feel totally comfortable being in that backyard, like just hanging out by, like, you know what I mean? In your bathing suit just by the pool, yeah. And not worrying about like people being able, like, because the houses down here are all right next to each. Like, look at this. Like, you can see all the houses are right on top of each other, but there you didn't have that at all. So yeah, and we liked it, but again, it's out of our price range. We went to it just to look. We're being nosy. But this next one is more within our price range. It looks like it has similar square footage. It's smaller, it's close, the houses are close, but I don't know. We sort of have like a specific taste too, which, like, I don't know, we don't want to jump into anything. We want to take our time. We want to make sure it checks off everything on our list. We want to make sure we can afford it, you know, so there are a lot of things, but we're gonna head inside and look at this next one, and then we will tell you what we think. All right, so the window's down because it's warm today.
You can leave it down a bit, babe, because I know it's hot. So don't mind the window is down. We're leaving that second house. The second house was, no. It was nice. Like sometimes you go to these older houses and everything is really like chopped up. You know what I mean? Like different rooms were used for different things, and that's what it felt like at this house. It also felt like they just put a big thick coat of paint all over everything. Like that'll make it better, right?
Well, maybe it did compared to what it was. I mean, I'm not gonna criticize a house for paint.
No, I know. People are gonna come to our house and see it and be like, couldn't they have done a better job painting, or I don't know. But no, we're not getting that house. Good morning, everyone. I hope you don't mind the mess back here. This is all stuff that Shawn and I cleaned out of the garage that has to go to my classroom. So, let's see, it's full of stuff. But today, right now, well, first we just got breakfast, which was nice. I like eating breakfast with you.
It was nice.
And now we're gonna go to Dollar Tree for just a little bit. And
a very little bit.
A very little bit. And then we're going to go to an open house today. And we're kind of frustrated. A little bit, right? Because there's nothing on the market.
Oh yeah.
We're sort of frustrated because we want, you know, to really start looking for a house, but there's nothing on the market that we want.
But we're not in a major rush. We don't have to get out right away.
Right.
We have somewhere we can stay if we're in kind of like this limbo. So we're okay. We're
gonna look at this house today. It's not in an area we want it to be in, but we'll just look and see what it's like. I feel like there's so much stuff back there. It all slides around too when we turn. Shawn and I are on our way to another open house. It's not in the city that we want to be in.
In the city.
But it's pretty close. We'll have to see what it's like on the inside. What do you think about this house, Shawn? What are the guesses before we go in?
I don't know, it seems all right.
It looks like it's going to have views of the valley and the river and the mountains. So that's kind of cool. But it's on a hill. The driveway is on a hill. Everything is on a hill.
It's kind of a bummer. That driveway being on a hill kind of...
The driveway on a hill, like, and then, like, you go out onto a hill. That's why you can see the mountains, you know? But, I don't know. And I wonder how much view you'll actually have when it's all tree covered, like, when the leaves are out and everything. So, this is the community college we went to. There, Shawn and I both went. Fun fact, Shawn and I went to 2 colleges together.
It's true. We went here for 2 years.
We went to that college for 2 years. And
then you went to another one. And I took a year off. And then ended up going to the same one you went to.
So then we had 1 year together at our 4-year school. And then I graduated. And then he was there another year. And then he graduated. And then I went to grad school. Did I have a year off when you had a year off? No. I started grad school right after you graduated, yeah. Right? So, all right, we're going to head to that house and we will check in with you guys after. I feel like we start so many videos in this exact angle. Yeah, and it's right on the corner of our street, so like, I don't know, feels like we are always starting videos here. So, good morning everyone. It's 11 o'clock and Shawn and I are on our way to 2 separate open houses and we're pretty excited about it. One of them is, I think we're gonna like them for different reasons. I don't think either of them are the right house for us, but I think we're going to like them for different reasons. The one that we're going to first has a beautiful kitchen, or it looks like it's a beautiful kitchen, but not as much space. And then the other one has more space, but the fixtures are older. So, don't know. We'll have to see. How do you feel about our house hunting experience, Shawn?
It's interesting.
Yeah?
Yeah. When we bought our current house, we were like, oh, if only we had a little bit more of a budget, we could get such a nice house.
Right.
And now we do. We can afford a bit more of a house, but we're like, where are the houses we want?
Yeah.
I felt like when we were looking last time, it was like, oh, if only we had this a little bit more, look at all the houses that are available. But now it's like, where are they?
Now it's like our budget before is like, we're seeing things that are like our house in our budget now. And we want more than our house. We want more space. So it's just weird because I thought for sure we'd be able to find something so fast, and there's just nothing that we're interested in on the market. But we're hopeful that things will come up. We have a place to go, so pretty much what's gonna happen is we are going to list our house on May 1st, and we'll see what happens. We are going to stay with my dad. If the house sells before we find another house, we're gonna stay with my dad and my stepmom for a little bit. And it's not ideal, but you know, it'll keep us from having to pay rent for, you know, an apartment and having to move all of our stuff there and then get settled there in between. So we're planning on getting a storage unit and then just putting everything in there and then moving in with my dad for a little bit, my dad and my stepmom. So all right, we're gonna head over to this house, and we don't want to take you guys inside just because it's not really right. Do you think?
Right, no, it's someone else's house.
Yeah, somebody else is living there. Unless nobody's living there, then we probably could, or somebody else will be living there. So we're going to head over there now, and then we'll come back and we'll tell you guys what we thought of it after we leave that first one. And of course, it's a rainy day in New York. Rainy, cold day. It is, what is it, April 28th right now? I think it's April 28th, and I am wearing a coat and a scarf. And Sean's wearing a coat too because it's, what is the temperature?
It says 44.
44 degrees.
Right.
That's ridiculous.
There's a frost warning for tonight.
There's a frost warning for tonight. Is that gonna affect the trees and the budding?
It might slow them down.
They won't think it's fall though?
No.
Okay. So we're leaving that first house. We liked it a lot. It had a really pretty open concept to it. It had a pretty kitchen.
The kitchen and dining room were great.
We really liked the layout. It sort of was like a circular layout where you could walk in down a hall into the kitchen, and then to the right was the dining room, and then the living room. It was a lot of space. It felt really big. Our concerns were in the second floor.
Yeah, the bathroom on the second floor is beautiful.
But there was no bathroom on the first floor. It didn't have a 2-car garage, which is something we really want.
In the driveway, even if we had a 1-car garage, we'd like a driveway that's big enough for 2 cars, like next to each other, right? Wouldn't you say?
Right.
That even if we had like a snowstorm or something, at least one of us could park in the garage.
Right.
Because odds are, if there's a bad enough snowstorm, you're not gonna have work anyway.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But like, yeah.
So we're hoping. You know, we liked it. It was in our price range. It was actually well below our price range, and
which was appealing.
Which was appealing. The finishes were really nice.
The kitchen was. It was a great kitchen.
The kitchen was really nice. So, all of that to say, we sort of, as you might be able to tell from our body language, we sort of disagree on it.
It's not that I thought it was a bad house. I just thought. It's not really much of a big jump up from what we are currently living with. Like, it had 3 bedrooms, but 2 of them were very small. Even the largest one was pretty small. Not that we need some huge room, but it was small. And
right.
You put a queen size bed in there, and you're gonna realize how small it is.
Right. I just want an open space. I want something modern. I know I want a lot. And we are gonna have to agree on something. I'm afraid, I just feel like we're not, can you see? I just feel like we're not gonna be able to agree on something. Ideally, we'd be able to agree to a house together. And I don't want you to think that I loved it and everything was perfect. There were some really big red flags that I just didn't want. You know, I want that kitchen. I want that like dining space and that open concept. It wasn't truly open concept, but it did have a feel of like flowiness, which was nice.
The flow was nice. The living room was a separate room, but it opened right into the dining room, which was connected right to the kitchen. So it was like comfortable.
Yeah, but I agree.
Furniture.
I agree that it wasn't perfect. It was as close to what we were looking for, I think, that we've come by so far. And I'm just afraid.
I agree with that.
I'm just afraid.
There was a lot about the house I liked, and it was actually kind of reassuring to see a house that's well below our budget, that had a lot of things we liked.
Right.
That's, if I was to put a positive on it, you know what I mean?
Shawn and I have been having some disagreements lately, and he's been the knower.
And I hate being that person, but like, I'm picturing like a year from now, us being in that, if we were in that house being like, oh, this bedroom's so small. Like, it's kind of like what happened with the house we're in now. Like, it didn't take long for us to be like, oh, we wish we had this, we wish we had this, wish we had this. And I feel like that's what would happen with this house. We would have been like, oh, if only it had like a bigger bedroom, if only it had that second bathroom. And like things we really would have, you know, wanted. We started vlogging when we were leaving the first house, and now we are on our way to the second. We're almost there. So yeah, we'll check back in after we check out this one. This one is definitely more dated, but it has more space. It's literally like less than a mile away from our current house. From our house. I looked it up on a map to see like really how like the far it was. It's stupid close to, I mean, driving there, you have to go down a couple roads and stuff.
But it's so close.
I don't know if we can park on the street here. Probably
I don't know.
Not, right?
I don't know. I don't see anybody else. All right, we'll check back in. So we just left the second house, and nope.
We just left the second house.
That's a no way on that second house.
It was, I loved the downstairs. I loved the living room area. There was no real dining room either though. There was a small dining room, which was okay.
It looked like they just kept on adding parts to the house. Like, it doesn't look, it looks like it started out as one thing and then they just kept on adding different rooms. It was listed as a 4-bedroom, but it's actually like a 7-bedroom. It was crazy. It was
a 1, 2, 3, 4, 6-bedroom house. If you really wanted to, you could make that a 6-bedroom house if you really wanted to.
I just wasn't a fan of it.
I still think I liked it more than the first house we looked at. I don't know about that. Actually, I take that back.
If you had to pick,
I had to pick,
I would have picked the first house.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
So we're at Walmart picking up our groceries. I love Walmart grocery pickup. It looked like it was going to be a lot of work. It had, what, 700 more square foot. You could feel that. I could feel.
It was definitely bigger.
I could feel the difference in space, but I'd rather have less space but a more open space. Like the house that we were just in, the first one, like it was brighter, the ceilings were taller, you know. I felt like that was a house where we would want to spend a lot of time in the family room, you know?